Okay, the career profile that I chose to do this time around was adoption counselor. So I came up with some, found some good resources, some online resources that you can go to. So one is www.adopt.org, and that's the National Adoption Center. So that's an example of an organization that an adoption counselor would work for. A work environment for an adoption counselor is you typically are working for a public or private agency, nonprofit or for-profit, and you can expect to be working more than 40 hours a week. Some typical stressors are when the placement doesn't work out. Sometimes there's a perception of an adoption counselor as a baby stealer or a baby seller. The emotional strain of birth parents can be a stressor for an adoption counselor. Couples who want to adopt, they have usually suffered a heartache, so that can be a stressor for a adoption counselor. Adoption reunions can also be emotionally strenuous. So typically adoption counselors are offered health and retirement benefits. So some common job tasks. So you would be, as an adoption counselor, you'd be counseling mothers or parents who have unplanned pregnancies. When helping a couple, you'd be counseling them through the steps of adopting a child. During the transfer period, a counselor can help the birth parents and adoptive parents. So, and adoption counselors typically work with the triad: the birth parents, the child, and the adoptive parents. And as a counselor, you're helping those people involved to be aware of some things that might come up in an adoption scenario, or to understand what it means to adopt a child or give your child up for adoption. Adoption counselors would also inform the adopted parents on parenting skills, and they would discuss with them what they believe it would be like to be a parent and what it's actually like. Educational requirements: a bachelor's degree is mandatory, but most employees are looking for somebody with a master's degree and advanced training. So starting salaries are usually around $30,000. Average is usually $38,000, and experience is around $40,000. So basically, an adoption counselor usually isn't in doing the career for the pay, but typically because it's emotionally rewarding. So that's it for my career profile number 2.